Hello everyone and welcome to Mikey's Makerville Projects YouTube channel. This is where we're going to learn how to build our own cool technology projects. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your computer so that you're ready to start developing projects and writing your own code. The projects that we're all going to build are based on the Makerville Hero YouTube video episodes, which you can find here. They are at the Animation Films 1212 YouTube channel. There are three main pieces of code that we're going to learn to install. First, we're going to do Visual Studios. This is an IDE, or an integrated development environment, and it's used to create programs and applications. It supports programming languages like C++ and Python, which are the languages that we're going to use. The second thing we're going to install is a scripting language called Python. If you've never written code before, Python is a great way to start. It's one of the easiest scripting languages to learn, and it's very powerful. The third thing we're going to install are libraries. And you can think of libraries as chunks of code that you can access so you don't have to write every little line of script by yourself. Okay, the reason for this video is to guarantee that you have compatible versions of software running on your system. One frustrating thing about writing code is that a script that you write that works on one system may fail in another environment. And if you follow this video, we'll set up all the software so that the scripts that I teach you how to write will all work in this one environment. Okay, let's begin.
Okay, so first let's install Visual Studio. So we'll open our web browser and we'll do a search for Visual Studio's download. And we want to go to Visual Studio's download. Okay, now it's saying the latest one is 2019. We do not want 2019. We need to make sure all the versions are compatible with the scripts we're going to use. And in that case, we need 2017. Like I said earlier. So we're going to go to these other downloads, and then we're going to scroll down to 2017 here, and then we're going to say download. And this is for the installer. If you're not already, if you haven't already signed up for Visual Studios, this is where it's going to ask you to put in your username and password. I'm already logged in, so it's not asking me. But if you don't have an account, just sign in. It's great to have an account. It doesn't cost anything. We're going to use the free software that they offer. You do need a valid email address though, because I believe they email you a confirmation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to, see these ones that say trial, these would cost money if you wanted them. We're going to use this Visual Studios Community. That one's free, no key required. Okay, so, and it's version 15.9. So we're going to say download. And then what this is going to give you an installer, and then we're going to run this installer, and then it'll download and install the installer. Whoops, let's see, continue. And I already have it installed, so it just goes over that pretty quickly. And then it's going to take us to another option where it's going to actually do the download of the actual software itself. Okay, so it finished and it automatically popped up this window, and here are the areas that we need to check off. We want to install desktop development with C++, and we want Python development. There's a whole bunch of other cool stuff here. We're not going to use these today, so we're just going to ignore them, but we may install them later on. Then you hit install, and it's going to say, okay, we don't need to take a survey, and now it's going to start the download and the installation process. And it takes a few minutes, so I'll hit pause and come back when it's done. And it's about halfway done. Okay, so Visual Studio is finished installing. A window popped up asking me if I wanted to do something. Sign in, I just said not now. Here's the next window. You don't have to start, you can just exit this out. We're done here. So we can say yes, it's been fully installed. Just close this all out. Very good. Okay, so now we'll want to install Python. So we'll do a Python download, and we'll just go to download Python at python.org. The latest version is 3.9.5. We don't want that. We actually want an earlier version because all of Mikey's scripts were based on 3.6.6. So if you want all these scripts to work, this is the version you need. 3.66 June 27, 2018. And whenever you're running scripts, sometimes you'll find they don't work. It's usually because the script was based on a different version of Python or a different version of Opencv or a different version of Visual Studio. So that's why I'm really taking the time to make sure we get all the right versions. Okay, so then we want to scroll down, and the download would be this Windows 86 64 executable installer. We'll click that. It'll download it. You can just click on it. It'll launch it. You hit run, and it'll say install now. And what we want to do here, this is important, we want to hit add Python 3.6 to path. What that means is you can run your Python scripts from anywhere. So you want to, like, you'll put your Python scripts in a certain folder. They don't have to be the same folder as your Python installation. So let me show you that in a second here. If I do custom install, we want to keep all these checkboxes, and we'll say next, and then I like to install some of the other precompiled standard libraries, debugging symbols. And this is where Python's going to launch. Because we made that other checkbox for the path, we don't have to go to this folder every time we want to run Python. We can just be at a desktop folder or any folder that we want to be in where our Python scripts are. It makes life a lot easier. So we'll keep that path because it doesn't matter to us now that we've made that check. Okay, so we'll do this installation. It'll take a few minutes, so we'll come right back. Okay, now Python's done, and we can just close it out. And we've finished doing our installations for Visual Studios, for Python. Now we want to install our libraries. Python libraries are downloadable, useful functions that you can use so you don't have to write all of your code from scratch. We'll start by installing Opencv. This library is used to solve computer vision problems. So let's open this up. You just do a Google search, Opencv Python version. Pull this up. Now the latest version is 4.5. We don't want that one. It's not compatible with our scripts. So we'll go to the release history, and what we want is version 3.4. Where's it? 10. There it is. 3.4.10.37. Okay, and then it shows right here. You can just copy and paste this to your clipboard. So we can do that. We can say, let's pull this down. Paste. Okay. But what we want to do here is we want to do pip3 because we're on Python version 3. Okay, so we'll hit enter. And I already had it installed, but it would go through and install everything. You can see it also installs NumPy as well. Okay, so next we'll install Cmake. This library is used to control the software compilation process. In other words, it's used to build, test, and package your software. So we can do the same thing here, and we're going to install Cmake. Okay, and again, I already have it installed, but this is what you want to type to install everything. Okay, and lastly, we want to install the face recognition library. This library allows you to recognize and manipulate faces, so it's pretty cool. In order to do that, we'll jump over to the face recognition library and see here it says pip3 install face recognition. Now, this is what we want, so we can copy this, paste it in, but I want to tell you real quick the history. So currently we're using 1.2.3. In 1.3.0 it drops support for 3.4 and adds support for 3.8. In 1.4 it drops support for 2.7 or 2.x. So eventually this isn't going to work with these scripts either, so you have to always make sure you go back to 1.2.3. That's the one we need. That's what's compatible with our scripts. So we'll just do, if we just do the latest version, it brings in 1.2.3, so it's not a problem. You'll see that it also, so here you go, 1.2.3. You'll see that it also brings in NumPy and dlib and face recognition, pillow, click, and colorama. And we'll use some of these libraries as we do our software. Okay, so we can close these out. And that's it. So now you can run a bunch of Python scripts, and eventually we'll add more libraries, but for now these are the basics. Again, you can go back and watch the Makerville Hero videos. And in each episode, Mikey uses a different type of technology. For example, in the first episode, Chapter 1, the computer program, Mikey creates a face recognition system. So then you can come back to this YouTube channel, Mikey's Makerville Projects, and I'll show you how to create your own face recognition system. I'll do the same with each new Makerville Hero episode, and I'll also explain how the technology works so you can customize your scripts to make them even better. So I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.